Hey, Prime Timers, welcome back. It's Dominic, the Prime Time Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. What I want to talk to you about today is the emotional roller coaster of reselling online, typically eBay, but you could use any online forum for these examples. And I'm specifically referring to the days where your sales are really, really low, and then days where your sales are really high. And there's an emotional association with those days, right? The days where your sales are low, you typically feel frustrated. You're maybe not as motivated. You could even feel a bit down about yourself. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other people on social media who post that they made a couple of great sales, or maybe they had 15 sales and you didn't, and you're feeling, man, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And you start thinking about quitting and focusing on something else. And so if you thought that way, I hope that this video could help you out. If you have a patch like that in the future, maybe you even come back to this for a little bit of motivation. Because what I want to remind you is that those types of days are normal. They occur to everybody, including me, and I'm going to show you what my weekend was like. But also, what I want to talk to you about are those days when things go really well and you make a lot of sales. Now, it's normal to feel happy during those days and to feel motivated and to even feel great and pumped up and excited. But it's also important not to make overzealous decisions about your business based on one or two great days of sales. So don't then project that out as this is what my sales are going to be like for the month and then go make some big expensive purchase that's not justified by what the long-term trends show about your business. And that's generally how things work. There's a long-term trend, and you have to keep in mind that if things are low and then things are high sometimes, that overall things should pretty much smooth out and be somewhat in the middle. Now, don't get me wrong, if you have a week of terrible sales, well, then yeah, there's probably something you're doing wrong, and we need to look at that and figure out what that is. So if things are going on for longer, but I'm talking about for having a day or two or maybe even three, um, you know, try to do things that get you back in the game and get you back in control. And I'm going to take you through how I did that this weekend and show you these two extremes. So let's start right over here. I was having lunch with my daughter, Little Miss Primetime, when I got a notification on my phone that I made a sale. And it was this item right here. It's Chase Masterson's signed 8x10 photo with a certificate of authenticity. If Esme Starnes is watching this, she probably loves this because this is a Star Trek character. Go follow Esme's YouTube channel, by the way. It's Thrifty Esme. She's a big supporter of this channel, and she's doing a great job adding content over there. So go check her out and all the goodies that she finds when she goes out to her sales. But in terms of sales for me, this was it for Saturday. So once you factor in fees and shipping, this wound up being like $6, $7 profit. I had made my money back from this collection, but if that's all you're going to sell in one day, that's obviously not sufficient, particularly if you had goals of maybe, doing this full time and you were trying to project out like, wow, can I really get by if most of my days are like this where I'm only making $6? Well, obviously not. That would be a big problem in the long term. But, you could have a day like this or 2 days like this every once in a while. So when this happened to me, what I decided to do is, and don't get me wrong, I was not happy about it. I was definitely frustrated about it. And before I tell you actually what I did, I also just want you to know why I'm showing you this is I want you to see, especially if you're new, that this is normal. It's normal to have a day like this once in a while, even if you are experienced in reselling. So if you're brand new and you have a day like this and you're watching me, someone who's done this for a long time, have a day where I just made one sale, or even a day where you don't make a sale. That happens every once in a while as well. Don't beat yourself up too much. Again, start trying to, focus and get control back. So what did I do? Well, I did two main things. One is that every weekend, what I do is I lower the prices in my store for the vast majority of my items. Anything that has been up for uh, more than a week, I lower the prices. Now, sometimes I could lower all the prices on Saturday, sometimes I'll lower them all on Sunday, and sometimes I'll split them half and half between the 2 days. It really just depends on how much time I have. And this was one of those half and half split weekends, so I started lowering the prices Saturday evening. And then Sunday morning, I made sure I lowered them as well. I wanted to make sure I got the rest of them lowered so I could make some sales during the day and salvage the weekend, hopefully. Another thing that I did is I looked around and I said, what are some items that I have here that I know sell well based on experience, that I feel really fluent with and very comfortable with, that I know the value? Because, some of these things like this Chase Masterson photo, I mean, this is something new I'm selling. I have a pretty good feeling based on my comps research that it should sell. But I have much, much better knowledge with, as you know from watching my video yesterday, if you saw it, on Masters of the Universe toys. And so I have 3 Snake Mountains. This is one right here. I showed it yesterday, and I said, you know what? It's time for one of these to go. And I listed it, took all the photos, got it up, and I knew there would be a significant interest generated with that. And sure enough, like within seconds of posting it, there are already watchers. It's almost like lighting up a lamp in the summertime on eBay with gnats just flying over to it. And then, as I mentioned in my video last night, I had happened to find a pretty rare Masters of the Universe action figure called Scareglow, and I listed him as well. Now, the other thing that I did Sunday morning is I found 10 other Masters of the Universe items, and I started taking pictures of those items to get them listed. And that's the next thing that I want to talk to you about that's very important, which is staying in motion, continuing to do things. Don't just sit there and wallow in the misery of not making sales, because that's not going to help you make more sales. That's going to help you make less sales. So get up, start doing something productive that's going to make your business better, and it's going to get those sales in. And so for me, that was making sure I was taking photos, that I was prepping them, getting them ready so that I could just, knock out a batch of like 10 Masters of the Universe items. So, just think of the analogy of a wheel. Once a wheel is in motion, it's pretty easy to keep that wheel going. But once that wheel stops, it takes a lot more energy and a lot more effort to get that wheel moving again. So that's the analogy of just kind of, sitting around, laying on the couch, watching Netflix, laying under the covers. You got to get up and start moving. And once you do that, then it's easy to, continue it. So that's just something I want to make sure I impress upon you, is to just make sure you keep moving, keep trying to do things. That's a theme to get you in control, because it should bear fruit as long as you have items that people want. So I'm going to take an example right here. So this is one I had lowered the price on, and as I was actually prepping my items on Sunday morning, offer came in for this, and after a little bit of negotiation, this antique clothes ringer here wound up selling for $169.99. So it was a $170 purchase, and after fees and shipping, only cost, believe it or not, it's pretty heavy and big, $21.89 to ship it FedEx Smart Post. Actually it was FedEx Home Delivery, and going from New York to Oklahoma. So that was a great start to the day. That gets the juices flowing. You're energetic. It really helps out when you could start off the day with a nice sale like that. And then the next thing I notice is that another sale happens. And I was actually just looking at this on Saturday or maybe even Sunday morning and saying, these are good comic books. These ones should sell. You know, I know not for a huge amount of money, but they're Lego-based comic books. They've got some popular characters. So I lowered the price from $9.99 to $8.99, and boom, just like that, a sale. Because you have to remember that if there's watchers on your items, that what will happen is that when you lower your price, eBay will often send an email to the watcher and let them know that the price has dropped a bit. So someone came over, made that purchase, and then this is the action figure that I was just referring to that I came across yesterday. I talked about it in yesterday's video. This is Scareglow. He's a pretty rare figure. He has the weapon called the halberd, and he's got the mini comic book. And I was asking $174, and after a little bit of negotiation, he sold for $150. So $150 price for that one. And then remember I said I put up the Snake Mountain? Well, right after that, a new offer came in for this one. A little bit of negotiation back and forth. Wound up selling this one, going to Canada for $125. That was the negotiated price. So two of the items that I specifically focused on yesterday to list because I thought they would sell fast and for good money, taking control of the situation. Sure enough, both of those items sold within hours, really. I mean, less than 24 hours. So, and a lot of the other items that you saw me sell, including this one right here, were ones where I had lowered the price. Not by a huge amount. Like this is one, this Fantastic Four print by Al Rio. I had lowered that from $9.99 to $8.99 as well. And sure enough, that was enough to make the sale. And then this came from my storage unit purchase. This is the Ultimate Spider-Man hardcover book, $19.99, so $20 sale there. And shortly thereafter, this is one that I bought from a local collector. It is a comic book poster of Flash from 1986, and took a best offer there. Went for like 13 bucks or so on that one. And then this one might look familiar, or these two might look familiar from my DVD lot purchased through that storage unit that I did the unboxing of. You might even remember I talked about Ghost in the Shell. It's a popular series, got series 1 and 2. It's also a comic book series or manga series, and that sold for the asking price of $22.99. So as I'm getting ready to pack up this item, and this item, another offer comes in, and I wind up going back and forth, little negotiation, and this really, really cool original sketch of Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose by George Perez, wound up selling for $117.50. So that one's all profit as well, because I got that from the same collection that you saw this Fantastic Four one from, and that you saw this Chase Masterson from as well. In fact, the Lego comic books also came from that one. So really, really wound up being a very productive day. And you know, if you look at the contrast of the 2 days, we have a sale here of $11.50 on Saturday. And keep in mind, this is very, very important what I'm going to tell you right here. What would have happened if I just got frustrated on Saturday and just said, you know what, I'm just going to watch some TV. I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not motivated to list anymore. I would not have made that many sales. Maybe I would have made a couple, but I wouldn't have made that many. And I certainly would never have sold this one because I didn't have it listed. And I would not have sold this one because I didn't have it listed. And if I didn't go and lower my prices to try to make it more, make the prices more appealing to customers, I probably wouldn't have sold this one, that one I lowered as well, or this one. So I mean, you know, who knows? Now it could have been someone came in and purchased it who didn't know it was on, you know, that the price was lowered, but I'm pretty sure that a bunch of these people wound up purchasing because I lowered the price a little bit. So a lot of that would not have happened. Some of it definitely wouldn't have happened if I didn't take action. That's the key. You have to take action. So this wound up going from an $11.50 sales day to today a $637.43 sale day. That is absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers, but it just goes to show you what happens in a reselling business sometimes. There is this roller coaster I talked about of emotions. There's a roller coaster of sales. Do I feel very good about this sales day? Absolutely I do. But I'm also trying to just check myself and make sure I keep in mind that not every day is obviously going to be like that. Obviously also I want every day to be as profitable and productive as possible. It'd be great to keep that level up every day, but I just don't have the resources to be able to do that right now. But it's, good inspiration for the future. But I'm also not going to go out now and start purchasing a bunch of expensive electronics equipment just because of one day that I had of sales like that. And again, just like I said earlier, just like I wasn't going to give up when I had this day. So hope that this video helps you, helps motivate you, that it helps inspire you, and just to remember, just to try to keep that that even-minded keel as much as possible. If you're having a day of low sales, you're having a bad sales day, most important thing that you could take out of this video is keep moving, keep doing things that are going to help your business. Don't get stuck in molasses because of those slow sales. Don't let that happen to you. All right? So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, share it with anyone else who you think needs a little motivational fist bump. Hopefully this will serve that role electronically. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Also, make sure that you come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. We are nearing 8,000 members over there. And check out my Instagram. That's at prime_time_treasure. I will see everyone back at the next video, everyone. Take care.